Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Football Overseas YouTube channel, and welcome to game week 30. Yes, it's the big 3-0 weekend in the English Championship. Not everybody's going to get to 30 games, of course, because we've had a few postponements of late, but it is officially game week 30. So after this, most teams will just have 16 games to go. So we are getting to the thick end of the season, and what happened last weekend? Goodness me, there was some excitement and some lively matches and some interesting finishes, etc., etc. So what about the league table? Let's have a look at the impact it all had. Coventry went down to Norwich, took the lead, but lost 2-1. Norwich really looking good under Philippe Clement. He's really got them playing now. And to take on the league leaders anywhere, home or away, and come up with 3 points. All right, Coventry have had a little bit of a slump. Well, not a slump, but a little bit of a bumpy ride lately. Seemed to got back on track, didn't they? With 2 hard-fought home wins, but went down to Norwich. Norwich did sorted them out. Went to go down, as I say, came back to win 2-1. Fair play to them. But Coventry still have a lead, albeit slender now, just 1 game's width, if you like. 3 points clear of Middlesbrough, who had a very comfortable and surprisingly comfortable, well, in context really, 4-0 over Preston, but the context behind that is Preston, although hard to beat for most of the season, are suddenly becoming a bit of a rollover. 3 games on the trot, no goals scored, 4, 7, 8 conceded, and goodness me, what is going on there? So, they've slipped out of the playoff, not the playoff picture, but the playoff zone that they've almost occupied from day one of the season. So, they've got to think about where they're sliding to at the moment. The teams in the playoff bracket, if you like, the playoff zone: Ipswich, Hull, Millwall and Wrexham. Now, Wrexham, was it the comeback of the season at Queen's Park Rangers last weekend? Goodness me, what went on there? Queen's Park Rangers were 2-1 up, 90 plus 2 minutes on the clock. By 90 plus 4, Wrexham were walking home with the 3 points. Go, absolutely incredible. If you get a chance to see the clip, Google it. Google the match, QPR versus Wrexham, and you will get a really funny clip by the way the Welsh commentator, Wrexham commentator, was saying, or how he described the winning goal. I won't spoil it for any of you if you do go and find it. It is hilarious. I played it back a number of times. Very, very funny. Only a few moments, but it is just funny. Yes. So Wrexham, extraordinary. That was denied Bristol City of a place in the top 6 for a week. But there we go. They probably don't deserve it at the moment anyway. Going down to the bottom of the table, of course, we had the South Coast derby, tin hats on and all that. Okay, it was a lively occasion, to say the least. We had a pitch invasion, flares being thrown. We don't want all of that, but it was all part of the mix on the day, sadly. As usual, 98%, 99% of the fans behaved themselves, went with the rules that the authorities imposed on the match. But it was a 1 each. Did it ever really take off? Not for me as a neutral watching it, I have to say. Portsmouth played pretty well and will be pleased with their overall performance, and especially coming back from behind to take a point. Southampton will be, as you would be, disappointed not to have picked up the 3 points, having played, having survived the ferocity of the fans. It is a fierce game, it is a fierce derby, but in both matches, for me, the football has been not quite there for me. It hasn't matched the occasion. So if both sides are still in the same division next year, let's hope they sort of break the shackles a little bit. It's just so long, isn't it? Since you haven't played them for so long, you desperately don't want to lose. So that was that. Portsmouth, though, have now picked up 5 very useful points in their last 3 matches. Probably chucked a couple away at Watford with a goalkeeping error, unfortunately. Previously to that weekend. But so they're just above the line. It's keeping them, their fans in sanity going, and we're seeing them not in the bottom 3. And they've got a couple of games in hand, but to me, they don't mean too much at this stage, or any stage of the season, if I'm honest. So there we go. Oxford had a great win as well. And oh yes, I've forgotten to tell you, I made it one of my points to mention, and I haven't mentioned it. Leicester City have parted company, having lost to Oxford United last weekend. That was it, the straw that broke the camel's back and all of that. And Marty Cifuentes has parted company. It's been building and building that, hasn't it? He get the odd result to keep the Wolves at bay, but not this time. A step too far, losing at home to Oxford, who were playing in front of Matt Bloomfield for the very first time. So is that a managerial bounce? I guess it is. Or new managerial bounce. So they had a great 2-1 win and are still in the bottom 3, and bottom 2 in fact, but now they're only 3 points from safety and they've given themselves a bit of a chance. Sheffield Wednesday we're taking Israel has gone, so 2 out of, I would say, Norwich are not going. To me, Norwich are going in the right direction. So it's 2 others from Charlton, West Brom, Portsmouth, Blackburn, and Oxford. So some big names are going to drop out of the Championship this year, including Sheffield Wednesday, a big name. So goodness me, all to play for this as we go into the big 3-0 weekend, as I say. Okay, what have we got? We've got all 12 games on Friday and Saturday. Nothing after that. Nothing on Sunday or Monday. And we start on Friday night. And where a better place to start than Ashton Gate? That's where where it all kicks off this weekend. Bristol City versus Derby. Now, a tough game for Bristol City, saying that as a fan. Derby are very hard to beat. Although I think Bristol City, if I remember rightly, got a decent 1-1 draw up there, having taken the lead. But Derby equalised. So I think I'm going to go heart over head. It's one of the, let's see if we, I say every single match is under the lights these days, isn't it? Fair enough. But a proper nighttime match at Ashton Gate is usually pretty good. It gets people moving, gets people going. And it's a big special weekend celebration for the club. Yes, it's the anniversary, a big anniversary for the Ashton Gate 8. For those of you of an age, you may remember them. Saved the football club, tore up their contracts, walked out the club without being paid a penny of a long-term contract that when they were in the heady days of the top league, when they were playing the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea and all of that for 4 years, and it all came crashing down, unfortunately. Anyway, that's another story. There's a big celebration. They deserve a big turnout, those Ashton Gate 8 as they were called. But I think that might just sway the crowd and everything to be for a home win. Bristol City 2, Derby County 1. Derby County getting a decent, they were 1-0 up. It was West Brom that came back and got a 95th minute equaliser. So, Derby will be disappointed with the 2 points drop there. Bristol City brushed aside Sheffield Wednesday 2-0. And Barry Bannon's last ever game for them. So it was an emotional moment at Ashton Gate. I've spoken about that, but that's my prerogative, as is my team. A little bit longer than I probably should have, looking at the clock in front of me. Right, let's get stuck in. By the way, if you watch do watch this clip and you want to get to your fixture and what I say about them, but I do them in fixture list order. So you can always spin through some of my yarns. I like to have a little chat about the game and the games. So what have we got then? On the Saturday 12:30 we start off with Leicester City against Charlton. Leicester City, all sorts of names being bandied about for them. A very long list of ex-players, ex-managers, ex-everybody wanting the Leicester job. Excuse me. So they're taking on Charlton Athletic. Charlton had a dreadful 4-0 loss at Millwall. Nathan Jones not a happy man at all, nor were their fans. Millwall's a difficult place to go any time, but to go there and not turn up, as in not really get stuck into the match and go down 4-0, very disappointing for them, and it's put them in big trouble at the bottom. Just 3 points clear of Blackburn, who are the team below the line at the moment. So, I'm going to take Leicester to not have a managerial bounce or non-managerial bounce, whatever we want to call it. I just think they're going to be better than Oxford on the day. I'm going to take Leicester City 2, Charlton Athletic 0. Then we go to Sheffield Wednesday, who, as I say, went down to Bristol City. And Barry Bannon's last match for them, we believe. And Wrexham, who I say, what can you say about them coming back like that at the end of their match at QPR? So I think it'll be a slightly calmer win for Wrexham this week. I'm going to take them to take the 3 points. They've definitely got momentum there. They're in the top 6, where at least that was the minimum, I think, their owners, their Hollywood owners, whatever, the Royal Royce owners, whatever they are, wanted. I'm going to take Sheffield Wednesday 0, Wrexham 2. Stoke City against Southampton. As I say, Southampton surviving the South Coast derby, getting a point. It's all not quite happening for Southampton after their managerial bounce, if you like, initially, but Todd Edkert. Stoke City still plodding along, doing more than plodding along. They're in 10th place. There's a couple of points off the top 6, as half the league is. I'm going to take Stoke to nick it in a tough old game. I'm going to take Stoke, who had a decent result against Birmingham last week. I'm going to go Stoke City 2, Southampton 1. On we go, Blackburn versus Hull. Hull, at the moment, if I was picking a team of the season in this league, it would be Hull City. I know that might be a bit harsh on Coventry, but Hull, what they've had to, what they started with at this, this beginning of this, back in August, and transfer embargoes and all sorts of other stuff, to be where they are is quite incredible. So 50 points on the board, halfway, sort of touching distance of Middlesbrough in second place, if you really want to put a positive spin on it. They had a decent 2-1 win over Swansea. Blackburn had a 1-1 draw against Watford, but it still left them below the line, so they really do need to put some results together, as any team down there does, really. I'm going to take Hull, though, to continue their good form, and they'll nick this one by 2-1 as well. So Blackburn 1, Hull City 2. Now, Ipswich Town fell foul of the rejuvenated Sheffield United, certainly at home anyway. Sheffield United turning them over by 3-1, which was a bit of a surprise, I guess. I can't remember what I did now in that one, but I didn't predict Ipswich to lose. That's one thing I did get wrong. And Sheffield United, after two sort of narrow 1-0 defeats, got back on track with 3 very nice points. And they're like Norwich, pulling away in the right. They're still down in that bottom group, but they're going in the right direction. So I think Ipswich, who surprisingly, as I say, went down, but Preston are at the moment having their tummies tickled nearly every time they walk out to play. As I say, for 3 goals, so they wish. No goals in 3 matches. And a 4-0 loss, a very hapless 4-0 loss to Middlesbrough. So I'm going to go Ipswich to sort of, their home form is pretty good. It's been strong, hasn't it, all the way through. Even in the Premier League last year, they pushed teams at times at home. But they didn't get the points, of course. And they're playing Championship football, but they will be going home, or staying home, with the 3 points. Ipswich 3, Preston North End 1. Now, Middlesbrough versus Norwich. Who put the fixtures Norwich way? Norwich facing Coventry last week. And the reward for a win over the top team is to play the second team away from home. Well, thank you very much, fixture list. That's the way it falls sometimes, isn't it? And it's a chance to do the 1-2 double, if you like. Will they do that? Probably not. I think Middlesbrough will have too much in the bag for that. But I think Norwich can spring another, I think I said this about them last week, to spring a surprise over Coventry, which they did. I think they'll get another little bit of a surprise here, or spring another bit of a surprise here, by grabbing a draw at Middlesbrough. Goals will be around, I think. I'm going to take Middlesbrough 2, Norwich 2. Another free hit for Norwich, really. Go there and give it a go. See what happens, see what the outcome is. Their players are obviously feeling a lot more happy with themselves than they were under the unfortunate Liam Manning, who has a little job, by the way, just breaking out of Championship for very briefly. He's now the head coach at Huddersfield Town. So good luck to him there. Down to the Den we go, where it was a scene of a 4-0 win over their local rivals Charlton. Won't be a scene, I don't think, of a 4-0 win over Sheffield United. But it's always a tough place. This is the feisty game of the round, I think. This one, Millwall against Sheffield United. Chris Wilder dancing around on the touchline and probably stoking up the fans. Goodness me, that would be a sight to see, I think. Millwall take no prisoners down at the New Den. I think it will be a tough match. But a bruising encounter. I'm going to go Millwall 1, Sheffield United 1, and that even could be the red card count as well. You just never know with that down there. So, 4 games to go. Oxford versus Birmingham City we have next. And Oxford, as I say, had a very nice start under Matt Bloomfield up at Leicester. And they take on Birmingham City, who can't seem to. It's sort of a couple of steps forward, then a couple back, and all in all, that's why they're 13th in the table at the moment. Decent 1-1 draw with Stoke last time out, and I think they might just sneak this one. I know new managers and all of that. I do like Matt Bloomfield when I listen to him, but he just didn't seem to fit at Luton, did he? He went in at the wrong time. Is there ever a right time? You know, when your team is struggling, but you know what I mean. So I think Birmingham though might have. This is one to watch. I'm going to take Birmingham to win, but don't. But if I put a star by one of my thoughts on games, this would be the starred game, because I think Oxford have a chance of getting something out of it. But I'm going to go just for Birmingham's form. Oxford United 1, Birmingham City 2. Now, down to Fratton Park we go again. After last week's incredible atmosphere that the fans generated, it will be another fabulous atmosphere, because this is, to me, an even bigger match. They won't see it that way, but on paper, they're closer rivals to relegation. It's 30 points, 21st place Portsmouth, 32 points, 20th place West Brom. What a game, and what are West Brom doing down there? Nobody knows, but they are. They've just seemed to have lost some players, lost some confidence. The whole club seems to be just strolling around and almost sleepwalking into relegation. You'd never have thought we'd be talking about West Brom and relegation in the same breath come the end of January, but we are. This is another feisty match, I think. Not quite as feisty as the one at the Den will be. However, it will be electric atmosphere. The fans will see. They will get the Southampton game out of their heads. This is a big game, Mark. No doubt about that. And I think so big, really, that neither team can really afford to lose. And I think that will be the overriding scenario. That will be the overriding wish in the match. And I don't see any goal. I don't see any goals at all here. Two sides that have struggled to score. Certainly Portsmouth, up until recently, were one of the lowest scorers in the league. They have made some new signings, and they've made some quite decent ones. Not massively championship experienced, which sort of, I'm surprised they haven't at least got one real commander like they got last year. They got a couple in, didn't they? Matt Ritchie came down from Newcastle, I believe, and Rob Atkinson was on loan from Bristol City, who's doing very well back at Bristol City now, by the way. They really did master the escape. I think they've got. Well, they needed to get some players in because they were going down with the squad they had, in my opinion. So I don't see too much going on here. Too much at stake. Both teams would settle for not losing over trying to win. I think that's going to be the chess match here, and it's going to be Portsmouth 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. 2 to go then, and Queen's Park Rangers stepping out in front of their fans since sort of tossing 3 points into the litter bin, incredibly against Wrexham. Still laughing at the commentator. Queen's Park Rangers against Coventry City. Now Coventry won't relish this. They won't relish much at the moment because they really are not picking up. They're just sort of straining at the leash at the top a bit. Can't pull away. Queen's Park Rangers will, as I say, another home match. They've had some incredible matches down there this season, haven't they? I think this will be another one with goals in it, and I think they're going to be shared. So Queen's Park Rangers, a great match for them to get out of forget last week if they can. Play the league leaders, say, okay, We tossed it away last week, but we're not doing that this week. Made a sterner stuff, maybe. I'm going to go Queen's Park Rangers 2, Coventry City 2. And finally, I think this is going to be quite a quiet match. Two quiet teams, really, this season. Well, Watford have had their moments, but we're at Watford now. Let's have a look. Oh, yes, 8th place. It's only a point off the playoffs, but they flatter to deceive at times. I do like that. I've said this probably to the point of boredom, but I do like the way they play. They up and down the pitch brilliantly, turn over the ball, great to watch on a number of occasions. Anyway, Watford against Swansea. Swansea losing to Hull last time out. Watford having a disappointing draw for them against Blackburn. But I see Watford's home form just seeing them through. Watford 2, Swansea 0, and there we have it. Game week 30, 3030. Here we go. A great weekend ahead. Enjoy the football. It's been a great European week. The drama that we've had in the Europe this week as well. Anyway, I will be back next weekend. I don't think we've got any midweek games. I didn't double check, but I'm saying no. But I don't think we've got we might have some catch ups, but not a full program to do. We'll get teams to catching up the matches. So there we go. Have a great weekend. It's still pretty chilly in the UK. Pretty dull, grim, wet weather we're having. I hope it's better wherever you are in the world. If you're not in the UK, have a great footballing weekend. Enjoy. Please subscribe. Get that finger clicking the button to subscribe and like the channel for the guys that put so much work into it. Okay, I will bid you farewell. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see what the championship table is looking like in a few days' time. Bye for now.